Hi, my name is Dr. Paul Lawrence, and today I want to talk to you about how certain sugars can influence your skin's health and its overall longevity. So Advanced Glycation End Products have a really cute moniker, AGEs, and they do have an accelerated aging effect on your skin. What happens is that these reducing sugars will attach themselves to things like lipids and proteins. And in your skin, it's the collagen proteins that are the real problem. As they add to these collagen fibers that are important for the extracellular matrix of your skin, and by extension, the resiliency and elasticity of your skin, those added AGEs make those collagen fibers incredibly brittle and more prone to breakage, and they don't stretch your fibroblast cells as taut as they once were. And what ends up happening is a model we call fibroblast collapse. So as your fibroblast cells collapse in on themselves from loss of the tensile strength from the fibers being attached to them at certain junction points, you see atrophy of the extracellular matrix, and that leads to the upper levels of the skin collapsing inward on themselves. And this is the popular model for how wrinkles form, and also shows you how these AGEs can have a profound influence on the appearance and the youthfulness of your skin. So here at BioCogent, we have been investigating this rather unique plant that has a particularly storied history with traditional Chinese medicine. It's called Osmanthus fragrans, or more commonly known as sweet olive. The Osmanthus fragrans flowers are sustainably grown in their own native environment, so much so that we use moderate water, less fertilizer, less maintenance. Our research investigations into Osmanthus fragrans extracts have come up with a solution to the AGEs, and we call it DermalRx LuShield NAT. Here I want to share some of the clinical data that we've obtained using DermalRx LuShield NAT at just 3% in a cream. Here, in this clinical study, we had 60 volunteers, half receiving a placebo, half receiving the active, and measurements were collected at baseline, 2 weeks, and 4 weeks post. The results that we received from this clinical study showed that the participants who were in the active treatment group had substantial improvements in skin elasticity and firmness, plus they had profound reductions in under-eye lines and forehead lines. Furthermore, the participants in the active group also saw improvements in redness, clarity, brightness, and evening out of skin tone. What's really exciting about this is that they saw noticeable improvements as early as 2 weeks into the study. So why don't we talk about how DermalRx LuShield NAT actually works? Laboratory testing with DermalRx LuShield NAT produced some really exciting results. We found that this material could reduce AGE formation by as much as 95%, and this in turn contributed to an overall improvement in cell viability. A really remarkable finding from the laboratory investigation on DermalRx LuShield NAT is that this material actually contributed to the diminishment of senescent cells, or so-called zombie cells, that will accumulate in skin tissue over time. They're actually one of the leading causes of skin aging. And what they are basically cells that have lost the capacity to undergo programmed cell death. And as they linger, they contribute to what is known as SASP, the senescence-associated secretory phenotype, where these zombie cells secrete these various compounds into the area surrounding them that convert normal healthy cells into other zombie cells. That's where the nickname comes from. And DermalRx LuShield NAT actually countered that process. A really interesting finding from the research investigation into DermalRx LuShield NAT is that it is not just inhibiting AGE formation. It is actually stimulating and diminishing gene expression when applied. In fact, so many genes that I would argue it's an epigenetic powerhouse. And these genes all coalesce around a theme of fortifying the extracellular matrix. Given the cumulative scientific findings we've now associated with DermalRx LuShield NAT, we would recommend this as a powerful active ingredient to counter one of the first contributors of skin aging, which is the accumulation of AGEs in skin tissue. And we believe that this would be a powerful ingredient in anyone's anti-aging platform. So if you found this as intriguing as I do and you want to learn more information about DermalRx LuShield NAT, please go to biocogent.com or visit our YouTube page.